Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the week again. My name's CJ Rock, or it used to be, but really my name's Curtis J. Francois, because I like to be honest with you guys in my audience. We're broadcasting live from what may be, again, our last recording from the Lazy Fox. I call the last show Last Resort, but I don't think I can call this show Last Resort again. But hey, we'll see what happens. It's a nice afternoon here. We've had a bit of a munch, had a bit of a drink. Guys, thank you for coming in. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Chris Grimes. And
I'm Mark Maguire.
Welcome, Chris and Mark. I think you're slightly confused there, but I like that. Nice start. Now, how's your week been, chaps? Have you seen any news stories that have ignited your heart? I saw a few. This week's been superb for crazy news stories this week, but how are you guys done?
Yeah, apparently it's illegal to get your tits out on a mountain in certain countries.
Don't you disrespect my God.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, fair enough if you're recording a porno up there, but I mean, what happened 2,000 years ago when you didn't really have too many clothes? I'm sure people may have been going around with no top.
By far the smartest thing you've said tonight, and I reckon you just peaked.
I do tend to peak early, Mark, you know that.
Let's not give a boy a hard time. I do agree, it was a strange...
Give Mark a hard time.
It was a strange story. It went around the world, and I think, like... but at the end of the day, it was kind of like they were in I agree with the sentiment. They were in another country, show a bit of respect. But at the same time, there was one of the locals. It wasn't all Malaysian people. One of the local politicians went, "Oh, that's why there was an earthquake, because of a naked woman." And I was like, well...
There should be a lot of... That explains all the earthquakes around Nevada.
Not homosexuality this time, but naked women.
Yeah, the beasts of humanity.
Yeah, and it was kind of the poor girl. She was humiliated. It was a bit of fun. She done it to put it on Facebook. Nobody probably would have seen that.
She really was.
Too much.
I think the poor thing about it is how many no-fly lists will she be on from now?
I don't think she'll be going back to Malaysia anytime soon.
Trying to get into Philippines? Not a chance.
Did anybody see the pictures, by the way? Because
uncensored, no.
Yeah, I've seen some censored clips. I was like, it's pretty harmless stuff. I think they got really annoyed when they started urinating. But
see, there's a time and a place for everything. You can't do that stuff on Oxford Street. Like, can you really do it on the top of a mountain?
They did it on Oxford Street on Saturday, bruv. They were cycling around with their asses out. There was one guy that was so big, I'm sure the seat was disappeared into...
No, there was that guy. He got disqualified because he got a hard on.
Yeah, that was a couple of months ago. I think a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
In another, I think that was in Sweden or somewhere.
Yeah.
He got a boner, and I was like, "There's nothing more spiritual and sexual than cycling. Surely,
there really isn't.
Give the guy a break."
I'm just wondering who had to jog up to him and say, "Sorry, mate, you've got to come out."
Sorry, mate, you're gonna have to put that piece away.
It's like, "Oh, dude, this cycling's hard enough." Right, it is.
But no, what a miserable day for it. Well, at the beginning anyway. So I ended up in Enfield on Thursday night.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, a million miles away from home. And I came home on Saturday morning thinking there's no way this naked bike ride is going through, and lo and behold it did. Those poor people, the mist on itself must have done it must have played havoc with some of the riders.
Some of them must have had
about half of them anyway.
Sore butts. And do you know what? Cycling, right, if you want to break wind with clothes on, it's a bit of a risk, right? Doing it when you're butt naked, that could have gone quite messy.
It could have been very bad.
One dicky tummy and then projectile poop everywhere.
You spent a night on the black stuff. Nobody's going to want to be behind you.
Would you guys ever do it? Would that tempt you?
Absolutely.
A bit of nude cycling? I know you.
Absolutely.
I've seen the pictures of the shit you get up to.
There's a new picture out.
Absolute classic.
In a moment of...
But back to the core of it, though, right? I was just thinking
about that, Mark.
There's
we don't need to share the world into
top of a mountain. They've climbed up there. Surely there's nothing more spiritual than being naked with a mountain.
Personally, I don't think so.
I actually, the mountain gives its own consent because
No, come on. Like, really, let's.
It might be a young mountain,
but let's get into this. There is nothing better than the feeling of grass under your bare feet. Like the amount of times I've gone to the park on a summer's day and played football barefoot. No, but you play football barefoot. It's a great fucking feeling.
Play barefoot.
Pardon the language, but it really is. To go up to the top of a mountain, something that's been there purely because of how the world has been made. Like the thing is just as old as our time itself. To get naked, it's like another natural thing.
Yeah, I don't see why the mountain god would be upset.
Personally, I think it's far more unnatural to have a KFC and a McDonald's 400 yards from the pyramids of Giza. I've been there, I've seen it, I've witnessed it. It's not that great. Get it out. Like even sorry, carry on.
They still need food.
They do.
No, but it's like although a lot of people were slagging off the Malaysians and they're stuck up there, this, that. But at the same time, it's not like you're allowed to walk around naked anywhere.
No, you have to have a certain level of respect. You have to respect cultures.
Even if it's stupid, people always say you have to respect cultures, but this isn't a culture that's built on respecting anything. Do you know what I mean?
I guess so.
And I can see why she thought she didn't even think about the Malaysians or the mountain god. She was just like, I want to get my things out, and she wasn't the only one. There were about 6 other people.
No, but there were
naked,
full-on naked guys. But the only reason they got her is because they could clearly make out her face. The other guys at least had the decency to turn their back to the cameras.
Do you think it was because she was a pretty girl? Because this news story's gone around the world, and I can't remember the last time anything like this ever happened. And I have a bit of not a feeling about this, but I kind of feel that, and I know this may be going off topic, but at the same time, everything that happened at Alton Towers a couple of weeks ago, although the girl had to be amputated, and as tragic as that is, if that had happened to another guy, I don't think, it's not that it wouldn't have been as publicised. I get what you're saying,
but there has to be a certain beauty to ugly things, and I think that if they had caught a picture of another guy, every single newspaper in the world wouldn't have picked it up, and not as much as they had. Maybe the Sun, maybe the Mirror, but not people like the Evening Standard or.
I agree with you with other stories. I do honestly agree with you. In this case, I disagree with you slightly, just because at the end of the day, it was such a horrific accident, and what happened to her was so, in a sense, horrific. I think I disagree on that level, but I agree with a lot of other stories. It would have been a lot bigger. Speaking of not very sexy subjects, I'll bring us to our first subject of the day, but it feeds into a little bit into conspiracy theories. As you know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but as with the election of the new government, they're obviously cutting things left, right and centre, but a lot of the language they've been using straight out of Fox News, I might add, is the way they talk about the poor and the unemployed. Now, we've discussed this on the show a lot recently, but somebody's done a study saying that researchers say government policy is trying to medicalise unemployment. Essentially, the government has taken worrying steps towards depicting unemployment as a mental health disorder, medical researchers have warned. A study by the Wellcome Trust found that people without jobs were subject to humiliating reprogramming by the authorities designed to change their mental states. The researchers said the new approach, which forced upon the unemployed a requirement to demonstrate certain attitudes or attributes in order to receive benefits and support, notably food, raised major ethical issues. How do you guys stand on that? Do you think that they're trying to reprogram people? Is it even a bad thing to try and reprogram their minds? And it sounds a lot sinister than it could possibly be.
As you said, this is kind of coming out of a bit of a conspiracy theorist field. If that's the case, you need guinea pigs for any scientific project. I think they're a very fine chosen lot to actually put this on.
Well, they want to test unemployed people.
Well, it's not just test them, but they're a very susceptible crowd.
It depends what you class as unemployed. Is unemployed someone who can't get a job for 6 years, or is unemployed someone who's lost the job they've had for the past 20 years and can't get into another job because the job they're qualified to get is not hiring, and the jobs that they can get,
I think it's more
qualified.
I think it's more about the language they're using. So, for instance, the old Victorian reserve in port. So, if you're unemployed,
there you go.
You're unemployed because there's something wrong with you. You're unemployed because you haven't made enough effort. You're unemployed because there's a moral.
5-10 years ago, but at the minute, unemployment is so spread across every class and job industry. So you're just going to go unemployed people for people who can't get shop jobs, or unemployed bankers who can't get a job in banking because every fucker and his dog's got a banking degree now if they go back to uni for a couple of years from the recession.
I think you've kind of hit the nail on the head once again. You're on a roll. You're really going for it.
How us round people like to roll.
Yeah, but not really when it comes down to it. I think you're dead right, because unemployment now really does go through every, not just social, but every class there is. Like back in Queen Victoria's day.
Well, let me ask you boys, how do you feel about people when you see your hair stories about, or read it in the paper, somebody on the dole, they haven't had a job for ages, they're getting benefits. Do you think there's something wrong with those people? Well, it ties into the whole thing, because unemployment benefit, they're saying there's something wrong with you if you haven't got a job. Now,
it depends what you're looking for. A lot of people, when they look for jobs, like I fell into the category where I would only look for jobs that I wanted rather than getting jobs that were there. And I think a lot of the British public are a bit snobbish in the way of jobs they would want to go to, and they blame everyone and anything and any kind of reason they can grasp onto. I don't have a job because of this, that and the other. It's like, well, if you really, really wanted to get a job and your life depended on it, you would be sweeping the streets, you would be picking up garbage, you'd be doing these jobs that people don't want to do.
I think it's not even the European sense. The British sense to this is there are a lot of jobs that are underneath them, like they're beneath.
Yeah, they think they're too good for certain things.
As unfortunate as it to say something like that, if you really think about going back 60 years ago, no job was beneath anyone.
It was. Don't forget, remember when the first group of 60 years ago would have been
1960. 45.
That's when you had the first influx of immigrants. There were lots of jobs that people were either overqualified to do or unwilling to do.
This is coming in after the World War, but I'm talking about before that. Like you had really salt of the earth kind of jobs.
A lot of people who are just getting any work, but then you've still got the upper classes who are like, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do this.
I think the pre-war, from my knowledge, from the knowledge that I have of that culture, society and jobs were much more rigid. It wasn't that there was a lot of unemployment before the war. There was a lot of people there
was a lot of class distinction.
Yeah, so it was a lot harder to move around and get new jobs.
That's exactly what I meant. What I was saying earlier on about how you had your upper middle class, like your working class, and then you had your non-workers, and they in themselves were a non-class. Like they were like below what was going on, and it's very sad. But then at the same time, there was a lot more pride. Even the people that, I don't know, let's say back at the turn of the century, the people that weren't working were still getting up in the morning, putting on a shirt and tie, sticking on a jacket, and then at least, maybe not always going out and doing something, but at least trying to make a difference in themselves without feeling like a bum. And I think the term feeling like a bum now doesn't have the same relevance to people that don't actually want to go out and move their ass and get a job.
So when the government says the government's now planning to station 350 psychologists at job centres, do you think that's a good idea? Do you think that people that go into job centres need a psychologist?
I don't think it's a bad idea as such.
Do you think they should do the same for the bankers?
Is it in the job centre that you're going to find the people who are the most honourable? Because when I was unemployed, I left school, I didn't have a job for a good few months when I left secondary school, didn't go to college, then got a job in a shop, then left, it was seasonal stuff, off, and then they reduced my hours, and I was still trying to find work and apprenticeships and traineeships and all this type of crap. And that was in the peak of the recession when no fucker was hiring. I had courses that I could go and train on, but it was stemmed into you have to be employed in the industry to then train with like apprenticeships and shit like that. And it got to the point where I was looking for jobs on my own. I didn't go to the job centre because the job centre had a website. The only jobs I could see there.
Why would you not look for jobs on your own?
No, but that's the thing. I mean, the job centre, the only thing a person in the job centre does, it will look at your CV, put your qualifications into the website, and then show you the website jobs. I went down to the job centre once because I was either told get a job or go on a dole or get out the house. And it's like, okay, fair enough. Went down the job centre. On my way to a job interview, looked in the job centre, I was like, Mum wants me to go on a dole because I can't find a job. It's been a few months. I was like, how old are you? I was like, I'm 17. I was like, you're not eligible?
Yeah, you're not anymore.
There's the computer, look for a job. But that's all they told me to do. I spent 99% of my time looking for work at home on the computer or out actually looking in places to try and get a job. It's like, if you're going to put those, if you're going to put psychologists anywhere, in the job centre is probably one of the least effective ways to do it, because most of the people who would need that help are the people who aren't confident or aren't comfortable enough to go to a job centre and ask for help. If you're asking for help, you're kind of actively getting
yes and
help.
no. Yes and no. So there are a couple of reasons why the job centre are flawed, and number one is that people know how to work the system. Like the system that we're in now is like it's heavily flawed. It may be that it's designed to be flawed, yet at the same time that's a completely different subject. People are exploiting what's going on right now, and as bad as that is, there has to be ways to fix it. And I really don't think that putting psychologists in, at least on, I wouldn't say a short term, give them a year, even give them 2, because really what's like a couple of years and trying to fix it like a broken society, because that's what we're in right now.
Is it really? Unemployment's at an all-time low. The economy, we're being told, is going up. They're building more homes, fair enough, luxury homes, in London than ever before. Is it a broken society?
It's a complete broken society. It's a complete broken society, and that's exactly why. And I'll tell you why like this. I worked for a maternity call centre when I was younger, believe it or not. People ordering breastfeeding bras, it clearly wasn't, it was absolutely fine for me. I learned a great deal in that position. A lady came in who was working for a much larger company, and when she came in with that mindset that it was all about the numbers on the screen rather than the customer service that was going out. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work out for the business. Now, there may have been a number of reasons why. I don't necessarily believe that was the reason why the company ended up folding. However, at the same time, it didn't help. Much the same as this isn't helping now. The reason why it's not helping is because if you come in with the attitude that you can say, right, unemployment's down, there are more houses being built, but look at it look at it from the bottom up. Unemployment may be down, but that's only because you can't sign on with a 0 hours contract. How many people are out there only getting 4 or 5 hours a week? And this is why 0 hour contracts are such a big thing at the moment. The same with building houses, exactly what you said. How many houses are being built in Earls Court? The amount of people that have been built moved off council estates, so council estates.
London's biggest building project.
Yeah, well, currently, but that's right at this very moment. Even now, Elephant and Castle, like an iconic place in London, as bad as it may have been for a few years,
it was a community.
It really was, and it got its name from a pub that was right there on the roundabout, which is just adjacent to a bridge. That pub that gave Elephant and Castle its name is now being turned into a Foxtons because of a rejuvenation project that's going on now. But not only that,
I mean, the name
Vauxhall stopped before Waterloo.
In Castile, hold on, something French, I think.
Maybe so. The pub has been turned into a Foxtons. It's pathetic.
shit. The George turned into a Foxtons.
From that, you have Vauxhall, which is a stop before Waterloo. That was redeveloped 12, 15 years ago. The exact same thing's been done again. The Winstanley estate, apparently, you can't be held to this, but it's one of the biggest council estates in Europe, and it definitely was one of the biggest in Britain at the time, and that is under purchase at the moment. And with that being pulled down, it's at the back of Clapham Junction Station. If it's a case that everybody from there gets moved out elsewhere, the amount of land that you can build on that, I guarantee you, less than a fraction of that is going to go to the people that have grown up there, to like council tenants.
But then they say, why should they be allowed to live there if they can't afford to anyway?
I don't think it's a case of why can you not?
Why should they be allowed to?
That's absolutely fine. But it's more a case of heritage. Like London, if you look at London in itself, like London has been built by these people, by these families, by these grassroots. And where is it going now? To the highest bidder. I'm not going to say it's disgusting. Adapt to die.
Do you know what, Mark? I'll save you the effort. It's fucking disgusting. It's disgraceful.
Adapt to die. At the same time, if you've spent your entire life somewhere, the last thing you want to do is up sticks and leave because somebody that's coming in with, and I'm not going to say a far superior job. What is superior?
It's more cash.
Well, no, absolutely not.
It's a money game. I'm not saying a higher paid job is more superior. I'm saying the people coming in have just got more money and they're buying everything.
But that's it.
I work in an industry to do with houses and everything, and literally every time I go into a new house and chat to concierges, chat to people who own their places, the prices are ridiculous. There's certain buildings in like southwest London which aren't amazingly great areas, but your 2-bedroom flat will cost you a minimum of 1.5 million.
It's not just that. If you look at Wandsworth Town,
a lot of these buildings that were promised for affordable housing have then just been sold off to the private sector, and then they've jumped up.
I don't want to jump too far down that road. We will come back to that possibly next week if we have another show, but we'll bring it back for the moment in the sense
talking of boobs in Asia.
So talking about the
did we really get
this was the Department of Work and Pensions, all right, the guys who take care of the benefits, because what they've also done is they refuse to release the figures, so the number of people dying after their benefits are being stopped. Now I said it before, this country hasn't seen the type of poverty, slums, all that stuff since the late 60s, early 70s, when a lot of the council estates were actually put up. They haven't seen it. We haven't seen it here for a long time. And the whole argument about the benefits is that people were cheating. Now I know that there were towns.
There's still people nowadays that are living in proper squalor.
Yeah, absolute squalor.
But I mean, like on a massive scale. I think previously it was massive. I think one of you guys had a photographic book of pictures, and one of the pictures was this girl and her sister who jumped from a burning slum house.
It was Charles Sargent's
broke her younger sister's fall, but ended up dying.
Yeah, it was the mother and it was a mother and her son, I think it was. Yeah, and they jumped out of the burning block in Brooklyn, and the mother's dead body cushioned the fall.
No, that was London, wasn't it?
No, it was in Brooklyn.
That the other one. Well, the mother and daughter one, it was in London. And all I'm saying is that although I appreciate you need to save money, and everybody keeps saying you need to save money and the budget needs to balance, I don't think there's a country that's been successful in their budget
you need
ever
to save
balances.
if you want to buy. And there are countries in the world. I mean, if you haven't been saving from the age of God knows when, and you don't have the money to do a deposit on a mortgage, you're not able to buy. But I mean, there are countries like a lot of people in France, they don't own houses, they rent. Like, have a place to rent, pay for it.
Rent's a lot lower than it is here in Europe.
Yeah, but a lot of people can afford to rent somewhere, but they're living on a shoestring.
It's not just about affording.
But then if they want to buy, they can't afford to rent and save to buy, which is the main thing, which a lot of people do.
Yeah, but in terms
if you want to rent something, you can find somewhere suitable. It's going to be far away from your work, though.
And I did a little bit of research on this. America has never had its books balanced except for once, and that is financially the most successful nation on earth. Why is it that?
And that's when they stole it from the natives.
Well, that's called British Empire.
No, but that was the start of the Americans.
We have a museum to prove it.
That was the start of America when the British Empire.
Hold on, before we go down that line, let me just say, the British government's been going on about cutting budgets a lot and balancing the books. All I'm saying is that can't be the most important thing, because hardly any countries have ever done that.
Absolutely, no, it really isn't. And not just that, but it's about like the wealth of your people. And I'm not just talking about financially, but like if you actually go and see what is going on, just wealth in general. Like, and by that I mean happiness. Their general positivity towards the actual government or like the governing body. Like, we live in a country that is meant to be ruled by a monarchy, yet at the same time all they really are is a tourist trap. And as bad as it seems, so the monarchy own Regent Street. They own a few other places. However,
Not just the monarchy, but the elites.
The crown. Not the crown. Yeah, owns. Let's just take Regent Street for instance. In rent alone, they take in, I think it's 15 billion a year, which is ridiculous. Like for Regent Street. In fact, it may even be more. What I know is that the Queen then, like the Queen now, or whoever the head of the royal family is at the time, then takes in 15% of that. So they can never actually sell off any of the buildings because it's given to the government. So the government can rent it out and use that money for themselves. Yet at the same time, the monarchy get 15% of that. Like it's a cash cow. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but I've said it before about the monarchy. People say she doesn't have power. She does have power. It may, for the most part, be ceremonial, but it's power. She's head of the Church of England. She signs all the laws she dissolves the government. She opens Parliament. She does all this stuff and more. And
legally, she has a lot of power. Sorry, but in practice, is not used.
Look, I'm a Republican.
The government still has.
That's just what I was going to say. So there is one train that goes from Paddington to.
One of these maths questions.
No, it's going from Paddington to
Leicester. The
I
other
think it's Hayes no, they're called parliamentary routes, and basically they only travel once a day, like there. That's it, right? It's not there and back. It's just going to the place. The next day they'll come back. Like that's how it works. And the only reason these lines still exist is because it would cost more for it to go through Parliament to get dissolved and to be stopped. How fucking stupid is that? Because if you really think about it, not only is it a waste of a line, it's a waste of actual resources itself. That's one person that could be going and doing one other job on one other line. You're employing somebody to inadvertently do nothing.
Then you're going to lose money.
And but that's it. There's so much red tape bound around so many.
At that point, it's not necessarily.
I'm trying
it's more about book balancing. They're going to unbalance their books if they stop it.
Yeah, but that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's like every council. So what happened when Labour came in? They turned around and said, okay, well, if you to every council, if you can't use the allotted amount of money that's being assigned to you, we're going to deduct X, Y, and Z, and we're going to take away a certain percentage for your next year's budget. So that's why if you look out on the roads between January and the end of March, you're always going to see, a lot more roadworks. Think about it.
No, I know.
It's not just about balancing books. No, it's about being too used to a way of living that, we're living beyond our means, and we're doing so in a way that it's affecting people that shouldn't have to be forced out of the homes and the roots that they grew.
But it's a fine balance, Mark, and I'd always say this, as much as I do agree with you, there's that side of me that goes, my issue with the entire situation is the new stuff they're bringing in isn't going to make Britain great. It's not going to bring Britain to the forefront of anything except, expensive homes. I wouldn't mind if they were cutting the budgets to do something amazing, like bring in super fast trains, invest in medical technology, invest in the best education in the world. They're not doing that. They're balancing the books and putting all the debt onto the people who are paying tax to them. Because if you actually look at what's happening, what's happening, there's no massive investment going into infrastructure.
Well, no, of course not. The only bar HS1. See, really, where this all could have taken a turn for the best was when the Olympics came to England. If they had turned around and invested all the money that they put into building the Olympic Park or redeveloping areas that didn't necessarily need it, they could have invested this into the infrastructure in London, places like Manchester, and going in between, and then with that had people coming and seeing different parts of England. Instead, what ended up happening then?
That's where Labour really missed the trick in going, look,
I think they knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing.
No, but you think they missed it when they didn't go for that? Because not even the Tories, they're going for HS2.
Personally,
a lot of them
and this is my own personal belief, is that using the Olympics was a bit of a facade for them. What they actually done then was they disrupted all of East London. They took people out of homes that they've been in for, as I said, generations that have been in since the 50s or 60s when council homes were being built. And this is the irony in it all. These homes were these homes were built right then for people to come in and move into with their family and to be able to unite groups of people in a much smaller area, yet at the same time take up a lot less space. It was a fantastic idea at the time. And now what's happening is, and this is why I think, as I said, the Olympics was a bit of a guinea pig. They went in, they moved an entire estate full of people, and if you think about it, the amount of people that live in an estate in all those tower blocks, if you put them onto terraced housing, that's a big area.
Well, I've always said it, if your average council estate is the size of a small village, but a small village has got a lot more support and systems.
That's exactly it.
Council estates
spot on. So with that, what they use then, boom, no, you need one of those Tim Westwood clashes. But this is what I'm saying.
We'll come back to people pretending to be another colour later.
Asian Curtis on the radio. So just to wrap it up, so the Olympics, they moved everybody out. They seen that, logistically speaking, it could be done. And what's happening now? Council estates all over London, and I'm sure eventually all over England, are going to be taken out and then redeveloped into housing projects.
That's possible.
No. But upper class housing projects, because
the good thing about East London, where the Olympics was, is that's a lot more possible, and it was a lot more feasible to actually kind of rescape a lot of East London, because East London was hit ridiculously by what.
Why was that?
I mean, they the Germans leveled out.
But I'm asking, why was that?
But I mean,
because I know why it was, and I can tell you the answer if you'd like to know.
Arsenal, where they were making all of.
Absolutely not. No, the reason why it was because of the blackout. And what happened with the blackout is, anybody that's listening to this knows, the blackout was you would actually get fined if you had any light coming through your windows, because that could give away where there were settlements of housing. That's why. Hold on. That's why there was the window tax. So if you walk around London and you see buildings with windows that have been bricked up and period buildings, it's because people couldn't afford to pay, because you had to pay a tax per window. So that's why the windows are bricked up. And what ended up happening was people in West London, the majority of members of Parliament, lived in West London. That's why you have far more period buildings. So what they actually done was they lit their lights further east, so when the Germans were coming and bombing, they would bomb East London. Check this shit out. It's fucking shady as fuck. But that's why East London was absolutely leveled, because it was the government that were living, government officials were living in the west.
The roads were built a lot more modern, so you'll see more similarities from the roads in East London to West London, you would see a lot more similarities in Milton Keynes, because Milton Keynes was, I think it was the last city built in the UK. But I mean, you've got a lot more space. So they were like, all right, let's try it out. The Olympics was a good thing. And like, okay, so we'll build the Olympic Park here. There's a lot more space. There's less stuff. West London is so clogged up.
Didn't need to build it in.
It's one of the only places in London you can build it with the end.
Yes, yeah. We're killing it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Disorderly Conduct. We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. Guys, say hello to the audience. I don't know, say something to them. They're listening to you.
Hi guys, I've heard Katie Hopkins is like listening to this.
Yeah, coming up in the second half of the show.
If you are listening to this, Katie Hopkins, leave the country.
And Christopher Lee and the United Nations. We'll be talking about that in the second half of the show.
But thanks for listening so far.
And we might have a few arguments. There could be some arguments coming, ladies and gents, so stick with us.
Christ.
Okay, Hopkins, go away. I don't like you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking with us. We had a very short break. To you, it was mere seconds. To us, it was half an hour. Welcome back to the latest part of Disorderly Conduct. I'm here with Mark Maguire and Chris Grimes.
Chris Grimes.
We're having a great time. We're we've spoken about some heavy subjects. So we're going to bring a little bit of lightheartedness, I guess, before it starts getting...
before we really go deep.
Before the arguments start kicking off. So this week, we had Christopher Lee passed away.
As unfortunate as it was, it really was.
It was unfortunate, although like I said while we were in the break, I did meet one person who hated Christopher Lee, and my friend of mine, his dad was a cab driver, and Christopher Lee jumped into his cab and hit Christopher Lee and his wife and just gave him shit all the way to where they were going. So when he heard that Christopher Lee died, he was like,
you know what, it's one of those ones, right?
But it happens. There's always somebody, I guess, a different point of view of somebody, because everybody was saying he was a lovely guy, he was this, he was that. He was an amazingly talented man. He could speak infinite amounts of languages.
But not only that, he had the Bollywood factor about him. How many films has he been in? Hundreds.
Really? Career that spans 70 years. Grimesy, what was your favourite Christopher Lee movie?
Super Ted.
Things I like him best for are the things I remember him from, seeing as I'm rather young. Lord of the Rings.
He's 35 years old, man. Sure.
Yeah. It's young compared to you 60-year-olds. Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, the claws are out today. It's not just the fur around it, like...
Lord of the Rings was good. He was in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit as well. I think he was in his late 80s when he started doing that.
And you know, he still had impact. Yeah. He still really put it down.
He still put a performance in.
Mainly because The Lord of the Rings was some of my favourite films.
Yeah, you lost your virginity, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
That was out of order. I'm sorry. That was
No, Chris will be in his 80s when he loses his virginity. Ladies.
In terms of Lord of the Rings,
virginity when I get my first colonic.
Yeah, that was a great moment. What about you, Mark? What was your favourite?
There were several. He played an absolutely fantastic, Valley Scaramounger in Man with the Golden Gun.
Great film. Yeah,
absolutely fantastic film. But really, I really. It's not that I have...
I'm not going to say he has Wikipedia in front of him.
No, I absolutely don't. In fact, I only picked up a BlackBerry Curve yesterday, so that's about as technological as I get while speaking into a phone. Yeah, have you seen it?
Sorry,
tell me, have you seen it?
This is a momentous moment, because he had the retro Nokia, didn't he?
I think, yeah.
That donkey piece of a shit phone.
You know, but I could use that phone as a...
I send you a picture of something, like
even emojis, I couldn't
like, mate, I can't see it. And I'd have these weird conversations.
You never sent me those pictures.
You were too young then.
Yeah.
So old.
He had a BlackBerry when
you were in nappies. He's thinking
mate,
Padawan. Padawan learner. So that was a great film, because I think a lot of people have been saying that film, Man with the Golden Gun, he was the first type of villain in a Bond film of that kind.
Yeah, really.
That Took him on.
really like he threw out some resonance in that. But I really liked
Dracula.
Corpse Bride. It was like a digitized film.
Well, my favourite ones were always the old ones, because that's when I first discovered him. Dracula, and lest we not forget, ladies and gentlemen, Fu Manchu. And when they talk about, a lot of people these days will be complaining about what's his name playing the Torch in Fantastic Four.
Yes.
B. Jordan, right? And I'm like, dude, have you never seen Fu Manchu?
Whitewashed the fuck out of that.
They rinsed it. They did about 6 movies to that. Nobody batted Island.
Well, what was his name? Barry Scott from, was it Vanish? Who is it that does the adverts with the squidgy gun and it's like bang, and it's Barry Scott from Sillet Bang. That was it. Christopher Lee, Fu Manchu, the Asian's gone. He whitewashed the fuck out.
Film, the Asian detective guy,
Jackie Chan.
no,
Pink Panther.
Black and white, man.
I'm gonna need to change your nappy in a minute.
I'm sorry, guys.
His Chinese bamboo very, very strong.
But yeah, Christopher Lee, it was all the old horror films I saw him in. Dracula.
He played a lot of Dracula parts, actually.
Rasputin, all those old movies, and it was like he did Dracula for a long time, but then gave up on it in the late 70s.
Just weren't going.
But yeah, I don't want to get typecast. You're about 10 years too late, man.
Yeah, it was just that one too many.
Even kids today go Dracula, man. It's Christopher Lee.
They're like, dude, he sucked. He just couldn't break into the American audience, could he? But not only saying that, Thingy died as well this week.
Another Iraqi child.
Oh, the guy was Fagin.
Chris, you went in on that one, mate. Jesus Christ, I won't be taking your name after that. Fagin. Yeah, that was. I can't think of his name though. Really shouldn't have had so many beers. Or ciders. And ciders.
3.
Shots. No, it was an absolute shame. Like, that film absolutely scared the bejesus out of me as a kid.
Oh, what, Oliver Twist?
Yeah. Oh my fucking god, yeah.
Consider yourself.
Leave it out.
Consider
Yes, flashbacks.
part of family.
Yeah. He was an absolutely fantastic actor, but he had a very lovable, roguish feel about himself, much like Oliver at the time, but then at the same time.
Freaked me out about Oliver Twist. Isn't the
Type of guy you didn't know you was getting groomed by.
But because it was Charles Dickens that wrote. Was it Dickens that wrote Oliver Twist?
I'm pretty sure it was.
Right. So Oliver Twist, right?
He wrote most things.
In the musical, it's all happy ending at the end, apart from for Gail and Kate. Is it Kate? Nancy, and for the boyfriend who ends up dying. In the remake they did on the BBC, there's no happy ending for Fagin. Dancing off into the sunset, right? The motherfucker got hung.
Did he really? I was going to say, he's still done a jig, but it was a dead man's one.
And also, I didn't realise how racist it was. In the book, he's referred to as the Jew.
Oh, that's a bit much.
Wow. I was like, wow, but there you go.
There's a time and a place, and I think if there was any in history, that was it. So I'm not letting that one slide, yet at the same time it is just what it is, as unfortunate as it is.
Well, I can let it slide because
but then saying that, I don't know, some elder actors are really starting to step up to the plate. Thingy's doing Sherlock Holmes, the film. Is it Mr. Holmes? What's his name? Robert Downey Jr. It's not. Ian McKellen. Is it Ian McKellen? Yeah, that's doing Mr. Holmes. Fucking good does that look? Well, how good is it?
I'm a massive fan of Sherlock Holmes and Ian McKellen. So bringing those two together, there's a few books I love: Musketeers and Sherlock Holmes.
In another Christopher Lee film as well. He was in Musketeers as well. I'm sure he was. Back in the late 70s. Return. Yeah.
It was, Musketeers. I love that. I love that movie, but love the book even more.
Not as much as you'd fancy dress.
If you like reading a good book,
I do love it.
If you haven't read The Three Musketeers, read it, because that book that book, even if this is why I hate the remakes they did. Do you know the In-Betweeners?
I do indeed.
The Musketeers is like the In-Betweeners?
No, not as well as Wolfie that sat opposite me, but
That was his generation.
yeah. Well, no, I mean for anybody that knows the In-Betweeners, Chris Grimes looks like Wolfie, and he was a mechanic.
Oh shit, you're winding him up now.
Yeah, so I'm just getting him prepped for
And
the
he's
next
been buying
round.
his drinks all evening. You're winding him up now.
Oh no, we've gone half and half.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is disorderly conduct. We're gonna change track here onto one of Grimes' favourite subjects.
Can I introduce her?
I think it's best us not talk about this
with the
parasite
news,
of the human.
the story starts off with I'll be the little voice in your head, and that little voice is going to be divisive TV personality Katie Hopkins has landed her own panel show.
His face.
The 40-year-old is set to front it if Katie
He's getting up to leave.
The show's called If Katie Hopkins Ruled the World, in which comedian celebrities will be invited to discuss their views with the controversial host. Making the announcements on Twitter, Katie said, "I welcome those who hate me." Now, I've always been one who said we should treat those with a mental illness better than we do.
You know what?
But is it appropriate to do something with such an obvious mental illness as
I'm actually
a
really
TV
happy.
show?
I'm really happy I turned up here this evening because last week, unfortunately, I couldn't make it. It's not that I'm going to defend Katie Hopkins. She's a bit of a fucking radical. Let's just like clear that up right now. I shouldn't hate anybody, nor should you use the word "but." I'm sure I've used that a few times tonight, but I've definitely not said hate. Grimes, as much as I love you, and I really and truly do, you're giving her a hard time. She comes out with some dumb shit, she really does. But at the same time, can you not just see how desperate for attention she really is? She needs to keep herself relevant in an ever-moving society.
I'm sorry, a child who has just watched a really shitty TV documentary.
What's the
will
child
come out
called?
with some dumb shit.
India.
Yeah. And then the other child will be called Poppy, and then their mum will go on national TV show and say that she hates people who name their children after countries and floral objects. And that is Kate Hopkins. That is a dumb thing to say.
That's mental
But
illness.
then
at its best.
the rest of the shit that comes out of her mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's not dumb.
can I
Look
just
at
say
the industry she comes from.
it's absolute.
Let's be fair.
ladies and gentlemen, can I just say you can't
There's
see this,
not
right?
even a word.
Most of the show's been looking pretty pale. Now the man's so red, I'm getting a tan.
Yeah. No, I could describe Grimes in 2 words. Oh yeah. He's taking.
Come on, all right.
Okay, can you explain to everybody what's just happened?
Grimesy, you wound him up, dude. You built this up. I'm blaming you.
I don't believe it. He actually just took my microphone out of the socket.
But yeah, it's going to be the new show will air on digital channel TLC during the summer, and we'll see.
Oh, good. It's a
Kate
TV
Hopkins
channel that no one watches.
open with a rule she hopes to enforce on
One
everyday
viewer.
life.
And I'll be her husband just to see if someone goes on there and bombs her.
Bringing it back.
Oh, what? She doesn't have a husband?
Bring it back. What I'd like to say she does. She's on her 3rd one.
Really?
4th?
Yeah. Yes. Bringing it back.
Dead.
Katie Hopkins isn't just divisive. She's divisive in the same way that 90% of climate scientists say that the climate's changing, and 1% says it's not, and less than 1%. That's the type of divisive she is. The only people who tend to agree with her are UKIP supporters.
No.
And
I don't know. Like, you see, this is what bugs me.
How about we do what we should do with every...
Hold on. Because we all know you're highly opinionated in Katie Hopkins.
Let's just ignore her. Maybe she'll go away.
Good luck doing that.
Just ignore her.
What I will say is that the majority of the people
Delete
that
her.
the majority of the people that really
From the world.
like are meant to be wound up by her. The only reason she didn't win Celebrity Big Brother, not that I watch it, but the only reason she didn't win it is because Katie Price, aka Tits McGee, came in halfway through and then just stole the show. That's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do, and it was underhanded by them. But Katie Hopkins really would have walked away with the show. And considering the type of people that watch it, which are people that I'm not going to say have fuck all else to do, but really, who watches Big Brother anymore? Absolutely fucking nobody. People that have either no opinion or couldn't give a shit or are too fucking bored to change the channel, like lazy boned people.
Yeah, but Mark, you say that, yeah, but obviously she's garnered some sort of following because TLC.
Can you really see a bunch of bankers voting for fucking Katie Price or for Katie Hopkins? Absolutely not.
No,
even though she was to stay in Big Brother, actually that could have been the point. They wanted her to stay in there for so long.
Yeah. Can we vote for her to go to an island somewhere where it's only her and a really horny horse?
I don't
see what happens.
I just want to say that
don't televise it, just leave them there. Don't leave her anything.
I'd say, like I said, I'm confused at why
leave her a pillow.
She's been allowed to get this show because
but look at Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan has a much bigger following, right?
Piers Morgan had a petition to deport him from America, and then a petition in the UK.
Okay, and you know what? I'm sure that if the lad
one at a time.
I'm sure if the lad guy petitioned against it, you would be like you wouldn't be allowed to shave your hair for like the next 8 years, right? And I'm sure that fucking shit would get into Parliament because that's the type of bullshit fucking like democracy this world is in. What I'm saying, no, it really is. It's bullshit. What I'm saying is Piers Morgan had an even bigger following of people that claim to be even fucking smarter than the people that Katie, like Katie Hopkins, claims to fucking have like viewing them. She's clearly doing it for the likes. I don't want to go fucking likes? Facebook or like fucking Instagram for this shit, but it's controversy. It's controversy. It puts her name out there. It's not. Listen, it's not a case of whether people like her. They know who she is, right? That's what keeps her relevant. That's what keeps her popular. Look at GMTV or fucking Good Morning, wherever it is.
Forget that for a moment, Mark.
It always keeps her on.
I know you're on the flow, but let me stop you for a second, Jan.
Keep trying to why? Because it fucking keeps the viewers up. It doesn't mean people like her.
My fundamental issue with this, and I probably hate Katie Hopkins as much as
you can't hate her. Listen, I'll put it out there. I'd fuck the life out of Katie Hopkins. I'd bring her back to reality.
No.
But why do you think TLC...
It's actually the one person I wouldn't.
I'd bone it all day.
She said, guys, can we not get too misogynistic here?
Sorry.
No.
This isn't that type of show.
Wanker.
All women are welcome here. But what I would say is, why is it Katie Hopkins, even though she has said things that are absolutely racist, even though she has said things that are bigoted, even though she's done all these things, why is it that a TV channel felt it was appropriate to hire her? Because she's not going to get better now. She's now going to think that people actually...
Because of the... I literally answered this before you even asked the question. For the likes. For the views. No, I'm not getting mad.
What viewers?
I'm going to
what TV channel is she going on?
Grimes.
TLC. Back down into the sea. Who the fuck watches that?
You say that, but TLC's
TLC's banging.
What is the show?
It's got Teen Mom. Stop right there.
Alright, I would say stop digging yourself a hole, but
no, because I'm clearly
Alright, let's say you
exploded a hole so big.
I'll come to Grimesy last because I think you've got a lot to say about
No, I think we should...
Mark, right, you get invited onto a show. Okay, you get invited onto a show. What do you say to her?
Fancy a bunk up. No, I wouldn't say that. On there, unlike Danny Dyer, who done that at the British Soap Awards. Classy fucking guy. No, I don't blame her for who she is. She clearly is who she is. Like, okay, so much like the industry that she's come from, she's like highly opinionated and she's highly motivated to get out there. It's unfortunate, like, that her kids look absolutely fucking miserable in every single picture that gets taken. Yet at the same time, you hear very little about her family life, which personally, I think having hold on, but is it a fake family?
Probably.
No, but is it a fake relationship if all your friends think your bird's a bitch?
Yeah, but what would you say to her?
But this is it. It's not that I would say anything to her. Like, I don't think I could answer that unless there was some context before it. But at the same time, and I fucking said but again, the point is, you don't see her like you've seen the likes of Katy Perry or Jade Goody, who are always in who are always in, who are always in the tabloids with like fucking bullshit like, oh my god, Bobby got a detention. Who gives a fuck? At least she's raising her kids right to actually do something with their lives. Over to you, Chris.
Where's
Grimes, you meet Katie Hopkins. You're in the audience in the show.
Did you say Katie Hopkins is raising her kids right?
I said Katie Hopkins is raising her kids to do something other than to fucking like seek and suck from the titty of fame.
She is sucking from the titty of fame.
How many stories or how many magazine fucking covers have you ever seen? Even when you're just walking in buying a Milky Bar, like in your local fucking newsagent, how many like magazines have you turned around and ever seen her face on, other than for the bullshit that she's come out with? None, because she doesn't bring a family into it.
Why does she? No, her family.
Unlike every other star. No, but
any
unlike
type of benefit from their mother being the racist, bigoted dick.
Unlike
that she
every
is.
other
Do you think
star
their kids
sucker
are going to be like having a really nice evening?
Yeah, unlike every
when they're around their
unlike
mate's
every
house.
other star.
They're around their mate's house, and the kids are like, "Oh, hey, you're Katie Hopkins' kid. Oh yeah, you're an absolute wanker."
Unlike every other star sucker that's out there, that's in the fucking industry.
Why is Katie Hopkins saying what she wants? Saying all of this idiotic, fucking ridiculous bullshit. You've had your say. Why is she saying it? She's saying it because she wants people to fucking listen to her. She is a fucking media whore, like Jade Goody was, like all of these ridiculous people. Are they fucking all of these people? Whatever. Fucking Katy Perry.
Katie Price.
Katie Price is a fucking wanker in itself.
Okay, so who do you look up to in like the media, like for like being in
Are they people to look up to? I look up to people. I don't look up to these fame-hungry twats.
Star suckers, because it's an actual term. It's a fully coined term.
Can I just say it's a damn shame the young people of this nation are so damn cynical now they can't look up to someone famous. When I was a kid, I had Harrison Ford. Denzel Washington.
Someone who is famous for a reason.
Really? Well, I had Mel Gibson, and look how that
you can look up to.
Don't. You leaked out.
You can look up to
but look how it turned out. Like,
someone who is famous. I don't know. Richard Branson, fucking ridiculously wealthy, helps out a hell of a lot of people. Still strives to do a lot of stuff.
Disguise.
Devil in disguise.
Did you
the
see
dude was raised on the backside of West Kent Estate.
Mate, fuck off.
Now,
what? You really think he made all his money just selling records?
I'm not saying. I know exactly what you mean.
Branson came from a very wealthy family.
No, but I mean, he lived behind West Kent Estate, not in West Kent Estate.
He lived on the outside of West Kent, where it's quite nice to live.
It is. Yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying it's a shithole.
Have you seen it? Have you seen it?
I'm not saying it's a shithole. I'm saying.
Yeah, but you're making out like he's fucking like just come from the slums.
It's not fucking rags to riches thing. I'm saying he's got a fuckload of money.
Stealing 5-cent gums.
Is he one of the people like, oh yeah, I'm just going to make a load of money, buy a load of shit, and just post a load of shit on Instagram about it? No, he's fucking.
Yeah, but he came from a different time. He came from a much different time. Much different time.
People who own businesses and who have money, who have came from money, and they just want to stay in money. They just don't want to do anything worthwhile. They don't want to do anything that is going to help everyone else in the world. That is someone who is famous, who is doing a lot of good for the world. You can look up to it.
Can I ask one more question?
Good luck.
Will you be tuning in?
Fuck no.
Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen,
no. I'll tell you what. If you don't want to tune into it, there is a documentary on YouTube called "A Band Called Death," and I promise you, it is one of the best documentaries I've ever seen in my entire life. If you
There's
watch
a video
this,
on Facebook or YouTube
me.
called "Watching Paint Dry." That will be very educational.
I love you, Grimes. Can I
It'll be as entertaining as the Kate Hopkins
TV worth watching. Watch Sense8 if you haven't seen it yet. Catch it.
I started watching.
Netflix. It's mind blowing.
I started watching Wayward Pines.
I haven't watched that yet.
Fuck me, guys, get on this.
Yeah?
Get on
Well,
it.
you watch Sense8, right? I'll hopefully have somewhere else to do the show next
I
week.
started trying to binge watch Orange is the New Black this morning, but the stream was out of sync, and I'm just like too cheap to fucking pay for Netflix because that's just how it is.
Showbox.
Maguire, get hold of it anyway.
Showbox.
You can. Watch it.
Two-handed.
Jurassic World's on there already.
It's-
No, not Jurassic World. What was the one that got? San Andreas is on there already.
Series. It blew
No,
my
I'm saying
mind.
Showbox has got all the new shit.
It blew my mind.
Find it.
It's, like I said, it's the Wachowskis that did The Matrix.
Yeah.
And it's just wow. It
Yeah.
just really, I think in terms of TV, Game of Thrones, Sense8 are probably my.
Yeah, seriously, Wayward Pines absolutely blew me away because there's M. Night Shyamalan.
Lost, is it?
No. It's
You see, when you wait, hold on, right?
it's not Lost.
You've got to be with me on this, yeah. When you say
I didn't watch Lost.
when you say M Night,
Yeah, Shyamalan.
all that comes to mind is
Mark Knight,
fake Hopkins,
fakey Hopkins.
fake Hopkins, and then freaking Avatar, The Last Airbender, which he managed to ruin.
Yeah, but that was so good before he got his hands on it. But trust me, it's done really, really well. It's like it's eerie. It's fucking. My only problem with it now is that I know where it is.
It's as eerie as
is
Hopkins
this the
is
peak?
nosy.
Like, can it? Like,
Is it a rip-off of Twin Peaks? Is what I'm trying to ask.
it's fucking sick.
So it's a rip-off of Twin Peaks. Come on, be honest.
I'm not saying anything. No. The only reason why I
means yes.
don't want to say
I'll
anything
watch
about
it.
Twin Peaks, right, is because I haven't fully I haven't fully spread the legs of Twin Peaks and fucking got in there. And that's the best way to put it. It really is. Like there's no other way to put it. And I'm purely on the
Can I
basis
just
that
say, ladies and
caressed
gentlemen,
the panty line a little bit.
the new establishment does not condone.
On a note before, oh god, we're going to take a really, really quick break, and then we're going to wrap it up because we've got one big subject to talk about next, which may cause an argument, might not, but we'll see how it goes. But this is Disorderly Conduct, and we're taking a quick pause.
Thank you. Cheers.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with the final part. What may be the final part of Disorderly Conduct? I think I've got a feeling we're going to be here a while, chaps. But
Famous last words. It could be quite literally.
We're going to be here a while. But
Closing up.
but I think we're being given.
About 10 minutes. Look at that, service without a smile. Just how I like this place. Thank you very much.
But this week the story broke in America, land of the free, home of the brave, and it's a confusing story just because I don't think anybody knows how to react to it. But I'm here to get your reaction on it.
It's not such a black and white story to me.
A prominent civil rights activist has been outed as a white woman. That headline, that first line doesn't really explain it properly. But a woman called Rachel Dolezal, the president of Spokane branch of the NAACP, and for those of you that don't know, it's the National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People, has been falsely portraying herself as black for many years, her parents allege. Dolezal is also the chair of the city's Police Ombudsman Commission and is a professor in African Studies program at Eastern Washington University. Now, she's 37 years old, and she described herself on applications as being black and American Indian. An inquiry has been opened into the matter. There's pictures of her when she was young. As you can see, she's very, very white there.
You know, she looks like. Have you seen him? Have you seen Don't Drink Your Menace while drinking the juice in the hood?
That's her black face.
Are people still doing that?
Obviously she is, and basically
that's not her with the wheelbarrow, is
no,
it?
that's the next.
Where's the white face?
Her white face is there.
Did she?
No, where's the brass white face? The one up top.
Is there like a
No, all the
one of
there
each?
we go.
Let me see.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I don't know, but like,
That doesn't.
could we be prejudiced against white people on this show, even though we're white? See, personally, I feel that I get a bit of a pass because
It's
I'm
like a
Irish,
black person
and
can be
everybody
racist.
knows an Irish joke that they will laugh at.
My question is,
You don't.
is it?
That makes me a rarity.
Well, then I think that makes me wrong. I do apologise. I'm completely neutral.
Has she done anything
Much like
bad
Ireland.
towards
The advancement
anything?
of the NAACP.
rather than just saying pretending she's black? Has she actually done anything bad?
Well, the Committee
Or
for the
negative.
Advancement of Coloured, the Association for the Advancement of Coloured People, has said that she was a good worker and are actually sort of standing by her.
I mean,
I would.
is the fact that she's white mean she can't help coloured people?
That's not the issue here. The issue is she went blackface.
She was pretending.
No, she did blackface, right?
I would have gone a medium Saint-Tropez, but right.
Come on.
Let me give a list of things that she done, right?
You could say that to a lot of teenage girls who fake tan. Like,
Grimes, let me hit it
I
first.
can't believe you just went there.
He did just go.
I
but
did
it's
go
all right. Let me break it down for you. Break it down for you, okay?
Stop being so
Number one, she said she was black. Number two, she signed an application form saying she was black.
What did
Number
she
three,
said?
hold on. Let me break it down. She had two adopted African American brothers who she said were her sons.
Can you see air commas on mic? Adopted?
Adopted brothers.
what if she was like one guy was like, oh hey son,
Anyway,
Because
there again,
that makes her illiterate.
and she did all those things, and I think a lot of people have said the issue isn't that she pretends to be black. The issue is that she took a place that somebody who was black could have actually been in. She took up a cause that she didn't need. If she wanted to help black, if she wanted to assist and help black people, which seems to be the
so
core
in
of what
itself,
she,
the fact
the
that
core
she
of what
took a
was
job
wanted
that
to
a
do,
black person could have got
that would have got,
is racially discriminative in itself.
yeah. And that's
Who cares who's doing that job if you're getting the job done?
Because she lied.
So what, she lied? How many people have lied on a CV?
Yeah, because I've clearly got fucking 5 A stars, right?
Exactly. He's got 5 stars.
Actually, no, to be fair, I think, once again, and for the third and final time tonight, Chris has hit his hat trick.
It's politically incorrect.
What's lying about 5 A stars is it is saying that, like, yeah, sure, like...
Okay, so she lied about being black.
Hold on.
Why did she lie? Did she lie just so she
No,
could get
because
in
she
and do
also
that job?
said she was Caucasian and Native American, so like as well as black. But
How far back has she
2
got?
out of 3 is it that bad?
Well, like we discussed earlier when we discussed it, that really white supremacist dude who got proven to have blood from Africa in his like gene pool. Maybe that's what she meant.
No.
There is black somewhere in her family. She was
But there's no. She's like fucking French, German, and Swedish. With like some crazy fucking not even a crazy.
What type of French? It could be like North African.
But Grimes, I think what it shows is that actually people's preconceptions of race are wrong. There's only one race, it's the human race. Everything else is what we construct and put in there in place.
There's only one race, it's the rat race.
And everybody, well, you're right there too. But everybody's right in that sense. It doesn't matter what colour she is. It doesn't matter what culture she's from. But at the end of the day, she did lie.
My kind of roundabout point was basically, yeah, she lied, but did she hurt anyone? Doesn't sound like it. I haven't actually read the story, just from what you've kind of told me. She's worked with a charity or an organisation that helped.
The National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People.
I don't know if you'd class it as an organisation or a charity or a business or whatever it would be classed as, but it's like she's doing good for her job. She's lied about a few things and she hasn't gone on the killing spree.
I kind of agree with you, because we've had a history in the UK.
Who cares?
We've had a history of people in the UK pretending to be colours they're not, be it, Westwood or...
Understand!
Boom! Drop the mic, off I go.
Is he pretending to be black?
No, he's not. He's from Fulham.
Who else was it? Ali G. The Black and White Minstrels.
Oh no, you can't say Ali G and the Black and White Minstrels. Like this is like a social fucking...
Mammy! and then you had what's his name,
Mrs. Brown, who pretended to be a woman and
Eddie Izzard.
But like, okay, I think
if that happened over here,
Mark pretended to
it would be
stars.
that much of an issue.
Also pretended to be Australian. I'm actually Irish.
So I don't know what.
Tumbleweed.
But anyway, you know, I
Should have said that with an Irish
do you
accent.
think if
Tumbleweed.
if it turned out Katie Hopkins was actually an Iranian dancer,
Then
and
it was
So much more sexy.
Probably
See,
Killer Queen.
Grimes can't stand her, whereas I wouldn't marry her. I wouldn't breed her.
Read a bit of that, Grimes. My whole point of view on it is: look,
Please, let's have this conversation.
nobody died, right? Nobody died, right? But at the same time, what she did was wrong. She even went to a little brother and went, if anybody asks, I'm black. Don't blow my cover.
Who's your mammy?
Yeah, I'm your mum. Okay, don't blow my cover.
With all my joking aside, and I mean 100% completely, and I mean this in the most sincere way, I haven't got a fucking problem with it, because she's done exactly what the charity wanted, and she furthered the advancement of coloured people. That's exactly what she done.
She took a role.
This right now, is it's a major dent in the breastplate, but it's only a shameful dent, right? It's the type of thing that can be buffed out with a bit of teacup. A bit of good media spin, it's absolutely fine. And I know you're old enough, Curtis, to know what teacup is.
Or a little bit of suntan. What was it? Suntan lotion.
Collagen. That's it. She just got a conquer in the chest. That's all it was.
But a lot of people are quite upset by it, and they're upset with it partly because what she did lie and deceive a lot of people. Her parents are like,
it was completely.
She's been saying she's black for
But
years.
how many fucking seriously? How many white people have turned around to a bird and claimed they're Irish? There are two types of people in this world.
But apparently, statistically, there's more Irish in the US than there are in Ireland.
Oh no, there's more Irish in New York than there are in Ireland. But I just mean all white people in general. Like Jesus Christ, Irish. Christmas dinner came from Ireland. but no, really, there are two types of people in the world. There are those who are Irish and those who aren't. You can see how this goes. Everybody just wants to be Irish, and everybody claims that they're Irish, but they're really not.
I'd like
And
to
that's
be
absolutely fine.
No, I didn't say that. No, I don't want to sleep with you, Mark. I'm sorry.
Guys. But this is the type of time this conversation is taking, and then it's not in a bad way, because clearly, it's a fucking spectacle, and that's all it is. Because really, what she's done, everybody lies. Everybody has told some sort of lie.
Yeah, but surely, can you see where other people are coming from, though?
I can.
She lied about how she was.
I can, right?
Approached people on the basis that she was black, and she's damaged the cause, because I can see it now.
I can see this more from a white person's perspective rather than someone like.
Well, let me break it down for you here. If you look at what is happening in America at the moment, especially with the right wing, and the way you look at someone like Obama's treated here, he gets more hate mail and death threats than any president.
What has Obama done for the African American people, bar coming in and being black president?
Trust me, you ask any African American, just being there's enough, bro.
Because it really interests me, because as far as I'm concerned, there's been more there's been more hate crime going on in the States towards African American people in the 8 years that he's been in. There are 7-year-olds now that have been there are 7-year-olds that have been born in the United States that don't know what it's like to have a black president, and that in itself speaks volumes. That's a fantastic thing. Yet at the same time, when it really comes down to it, look at everything that's going on. It's fucking ridiculous. And I'm not saying that black lives matter. I'm not saying that white lives matter. I'm not fucking saying that Irish lives matter. I'm just saying that life matters. Full fucking stop.
Let me just jump in. I like your flow, but let me explain.
That shit's going to get edited out when I run for Parliament, and then everyone's fine.
Let me break it down for you again, because this is something I hear a lot from people when they talk about Obama in terms of what's he done for. If you ask most African Americans, they say just being there is enough. If you look at what's happened with Obama, he's done a lot. It's just that he is not someone. Nobody wants to bring attention to what he's done.
Nobody has not. The only thing I've seen Obama done in the last fucking 4 years, right?
Withdrawal from Afghanistan and Iraq.
No, bullshit. That shit was happening. Wait, hold on. Don't say. Are you calling me dude? Because I fucking hate that, right? Number one.
The only thing you've seen Obama do grammatically.
Oh, fuck you, right? Number one, right? Number one, Bush was pulling out of that shit before. Yeah, it was a steady progress. However, as Obama came in and it all came out, everybody's like fucking praise Obama. That's absolutely fine. Great that it came in under him, but it was already implemented before he actually came into power.
Affordable Care Act.
Affordable care. It fucks everybody. It's saving the American car industry. How? Because if you really look at it, no. But if you look at it, Tesla by Elon Musk, right? You can't sell a car in Detroit without having a license to do so. So what did he turn around and do? Elon Musk put in a showroom, put all his cars in it, only had security in the place, had everything done online, so people could go in, see the cars, like fucking do things like on touchscreens on the walls of this showroom, which is in an old abandoned like Ford factory, if I'm not mistaken. What did they try and do? Like the Detroit whatever fucking bullshit it was, tried to shut him down because he didn't know, but he didn't lie, because he wasn't selling it himself, he was selling it online. That's absolutely fine. Okay, Obama, fuck him, right? What's he really done in the last 4 years? The only time he's actually stood up and actually really given a speech that's made any fucking like that's made him look, I don't know, like he gives a fuck, was with the TTP the night before last, and it still didn't go through, and it couldn't go through.
That speech where he was saying about how the American Muslims are actually part of America now. That was actually a really good speech.
Mr. Katie Hopkins finally speaking a bit of fucking sense. Maybe so. That's absolutely fine. But it wasn't with conviction. If you look at what he said on fucking like Parliament Hill, yeah, and how he was really fucking going really in depth to this, he cared about the TTP, which was the trade agreement between like Asia and fucking the United States. Yeah, and you will see him doing the exact same thing when it comes into the TTIP, which is the trade agreement between Europe and the United States. Yeah. My point is, Obama, it's not that Obama doesn't give a shit. Obama, it just isn't doing what he could be doing.
He isn't doing as much as he could, but he's only the president of the United States.
And this bird has been crucified for fucking lying about it. Yeah, it's a bit of a fucking lie. But to be fair, even when she was white, what was she doing? She went and she done her college and her fucking university studies.
Just a few things Obama's done.
Only if you can clarify what this bird has done in her time for the NAACP as well, because I'm telling you now, like, she's done just as much, if not more, for the organisation than Obama has.
Well, we don't know that. Whether or not she has.
She went to college. She went to college. She got a degree. Yeah, she worked her way up the food chain.
No, I'm not letting you do
and she done all that.
You do this on my show.
It's just happened.
I'm not letting you do this on my show.
Boom.
It's starting to sound like Russia Today. Let me just break it. No.
Listen, Fox News.
Let me just say, I get where you're coming from, but at the same time, my issue, it's not a response of rage towards her or even anger. It's more a response of pity that she didn't feel she could do it being herself, because there's nothing worse than not being yourself and trying to strive for things.
Is it her fault or is it society's fault?
Yeah,
I don't think it's society's fault. No, I think I'm not going to say I'm not going to say it's a mental defect, but what I think it is, because by saying it's a mental defect, that's just like saying a guy who wants to transition into a woman like Caitlyn Jenner, like that's a defect. No, you are who you're fucking born to. No,
Kanye West has got two mother-in-laws.
Yeah, and no mother. Fucking fantastic, Chris. Nice one. Listen, leave it, man. Leave it out. I'm not fucking here for that shit. I'm just winding up.
You were here and you've left.
I transitioned Chris, but no. What I'm saying is, like, if she's grown up and she's felt that she is a certain way, the society that we live in now shouldn't be crucifying her for it. Just much the same as transgender people now are getting a lot of praise for being so brave, for being who they really are. That's exactly who she feels that she really is. So for the media,
you need to watch Sense8 because, like I said, I think this will.
I'm reading off BuzzFeed to know what fucking.
Talking about Netflix. Mark is talking about a highly sensitive issue.
Yeah, I really am.
Netflix is highly sensitive, but all I'm saying all I'm saying here is that I agree with you that she shouldn't be judged because she did try and help, but she did deceive a lot of people and her parents.
Jesus Christ! So did George Michael and Elton John.
Hasn't deceived the fuck.
No, but so did George Michael and Elton John. One of my friends got called George Michael last night, and he took it. He's like, he must be a handsome fella. Got a lot of girls, and I'm sure he did. But he also got even more fucking guys. And this is my.
He got a lot of dick.
He got a lot, just like Chris in his 20s.
No dick, nothing.
We don't abuse him so much.
No. When Chris was 19, I told him that when he was turning 20, that it was a byproduct of your 20s that you got a lot of dick, and for a moment he started to believe it.
No, I didn't.
The
only thing I believe that you said is one of the first times we went out properly, and you told me you was bi, and I tried to break it to you softly that I wasn't that way inclined. But
I met the love of my life that night. I've rubbed Abdul's shoulders every night. Yeah, no, that cab driver was really, really fucking.
I thought he was going to say Gabby because that's the night you met her.
It was.
I don't know if you want to reveal this sort of stuff.
Oh no! Actually, no. I was somehow quick. So I was out with Chris.
I
was out with Chris at a leaving party in Parsons Green.
People.
And we're out there, and one of my friends said, "Yeah, come to a birthday party. It's in Epsom."
So, just so I'm clear, are you sort of equating what this woman did?
No, absolutely. I'm. You know what? I'm going to tell my story. I'm going to bring it around. You know why? Because I'm a doer, just like this lady. And that's all I have to say.
I'd say I don't quite disagree with you, but I don't 100% agree with you. But I think she needs to start being honest now, and because all I have, the only image I get in my head is of Tropical Thunder.
She's gone full retard. Is that what you're saying?
That's the only thing I get in my head.
She is the guy who pretended to be the black man.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. Nobody goes full retard. Yeah.
What's up, brother? Such a good film. But how they run us for so long. I get that, but especially in America where race is such a heightened issue.
No, but she has been honest to herself.
It has started an important discussion, but I would also say that she did what she did, and she's
been completely honest.
She needs to start being honest, and
but she has been,
because it's not the NSAP they've got to worry about. It's not all the people she's helped. It's those groups and organisations that will look at this and go, nigger lover, she's something wrong with her now. Everything she does will be tainted with that.
But once again, I don't see the difference. I don't see the difference. But this is it. But this is it. Like how the hypersensitivity is it hypersensitivity? I fucking sound like a dummy.
Tropical Thunder, Karen.
I went there, but the long and short of it is this: she's doing like every other guy who's ever felt like he's grown up like in the wrong body, and the same with any female that's felt like.
Sorry, Karen.
I can't wait to see it. I really can't, because you know what? I have absolutely no problem with this. I've shuddered when I've seen like a trans operation. Nobody likes seeing like a scalpel around the head of a penis, but that's just like no. But really, that wasn't a bird. It wasn't a bird. Oh bollocks! No! Oh shit! No, you dickhead!
Do you really want to hear this?
Oh no!
That's all I'm saying.
Oh, you fucking prick!
Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a special moment here on disorderly conduct.
Yeah, no.
Finally admitted it.
Oh, you. It was a bird. It wasn't fucking a guy. You dickhead.
Look, we're gonna take.
Why can't I listen to it?
And then we're gonna bring it all back down to earth when we have a little talk about the United.
You know what? Fuck off,
ladies and gentlemen.
I'm laughing at it. I really am. No, hold on. I just want to say.
So to wrap it up.
No.
So to get out of this whole.
No. Because as soon as you hear something like this, you're like, yeah, motherfucker, you busted. What it was really?
You don't have to say anything.
No. What it was, I walked into the barn.
We'll finish.
And
the
horse's
on next week's show.
Penis was flaccid, and then, well, fuck you, Chris. I put it to you that you blew a horse. No,
I didn't.
Well, I think
no, it wasn't a fucking. It wasn't a gazer.
Gentlemen, back, focus. We're gonna take a final.
I'm gonna
pause.
fuck your mum because of this. I promise.
We're gonna take a final pause.
I'm gonna have to stop.
Can we, guys? I must insist, and can you leave the misogyny out of this? But we'll be back in a few short seconds with the final part of the show.
Sounds like you
ladies and gentlemen, this is Disorderly Conduct.
It was a girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging around with us in that slight pause. It got a bit heated there, and I was a bit surprised at how heated it got. But our next subject is, I guess we'll talk about it more in the next show. But I just wanted to cover, when I was a kid, there was an organisation that sort of gave me a lot of hope about the world that I thought would, especially when I grew up, I don't know about you guys, but I grew up during what was near the end of the Cold War, and they used to have little videos on the TV saying, in case of a nuclear attack, you need to do A, B, C, D. And there was a joke one that you need to put your head between your legs.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Now that generally applies to plane crashes, but basically the United Nations. The United Nations now is an organisation that's been around since I think the 50s. It was created to stop things like World War II happening ever again. It had the League of Nations, which was more of an empire organisation before, and this one was each country had a seat at the UN. Each country had a vote. Eventually you had things like the Security Council, and then you've got things like the G7, which I don't think is part of the UN, but it came out of organisations like that.
But the G7 is, it's like all the European unions.
All the big 7 powers in the world. Now, in recent years, I hardly hear anything about the UN except with disaster relief. But what I've also heard a lot of, there was a film I watched a couple of years ago set in Croatia after the Croatian War, which, although people slag America off for their current escapades, the Americans brought an end to the war in Serbia, Croatia.
Last time in fucking history. Maybe.
We can debate that in the next show. But the UN, even during that war, stuttered. A lot of people died because they stuttered. They didn't do what they were meant to do. I heard a lot of stories at the time of them getting involved in the sex trade. So giving UN goods that were given out.
Don't put this on me.
No, I'm just saying there's been a lot going on. I know you like a conspiracy theory, but in Haiti, for instance, there's been stories coming out that a lot of people believe that the UN was responsible for the cholera epidemic that happened over there. There's still 100,000 people. It killed over, when they had the earthquake 5 years ago, it killed 700,000 people.
Where is it, in Haiti?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Red Cross and their fucking 16 billion and they've only built 5 houses?
Yeah, something ridiculous like that. But here's the thing. Although it was I didn't believe it, but apparently the UN is almost certainly responsible for importing cholera. That infected 700,000 Haitians and killed 8,000 people just months after the earthquake. And that's because at the time a lot of people were bringing Bibles. as for sexual health. There's allegations about the Red Cross over in Haiti, but overall I think with the UN peacekeeping forces, when they were in Somalia or East Africa, I can't remember what it was, there were all sorts of rumours that the troops that came over were abusing young girls.
Oh shit, yeah, I've seen
trading
this.
sex for
for supplies and all for basic humanitarian goods.
My question, and again we'll go into it a lot, like there's over 500 claims of sexual abuse documented in Liberia, Haiti and Liberia, where the UN are. And I'm just like, has the UN reached the end of its purpose? One of the things as an atheist that annoyed me is that a lot of I think a guy from Libya, I can't remember who it was, I do apologise for that, somebody can remind me at a later point, he's applying to have a international law brought out, and it won't happen, but obviously these are the type of things that people are bringing to UN that says that it's illegal to disrespect any religion. The UN was meant to be about making people's lives better, so stopping war.
It was. I think
stopping starvation.
I think like every charity started off in the right fucking with the right mindset, like much like me doing this like podcast. But if I can,
but then the UN, the United Nations, the United Nations wasn't even. It's not a charity. It's an organisation of all the governments of the world coming together and going, we want to change things for the better. We want to stop war. We want to improve communication. But the UN hasn't been doing that.
It really hasn't. And to be honest, no charity has. Like, if you look at everything that's come out of it, like UNICEF seems to be like the big fucking like the big ball player, like by the UN. And even then, the UN, as big as it is, like UNICEF is still bigger than it.
Yeah.
Like UNICEF, like worldwide, gets like in fact, it's the second biggest charity by the WWF. Like they're both absolutely massive. But you know what? You're much better off running a charity than a corporation because you get so many more tax breaks.
Do you think
you pay yourself in dividends? No, but you end up paying yourself in dividends rather than actually like paying yourself a wage.
Yeah, but does it when somebody says United Nations to you, does that inspire you in any way?
Yeah, in the same way that like I feel inspired that McDonald's is like a quick, easy fix to my hunger. But I also know that McDonald's isn't going to satisfy that. The difference is you think and you therefore feel in your stomach that the United Nations or any charity that you give money to is going to make a difference.
Well, I mean,
whereas it's like McDonald's, it doesn't.
Yeah, but like with the UN, it's not a charity. It's a peacekeeping organisation, right?
And I refer to
in terms of Chris. When you're the youngest one here, when you hear the word UN, what do you think of that? Does it bring anything to mind? Does it inspire you? Does it make you think the world's going to become a better place? But that's what I mean.
Chris is trying to master.
Has the United Nations run its course? Is it something that is it useless now?
No,
you've got G7, you've got the European Union, you've got.
You know, with the United,
if UN peacekeepers are trading sex for cash or goods,
you know why the United Nations isn't like irrelevant. The United Nations is not fucking some prehistoric dinosaur that like needs even some old fucking like claw-footed horse and needs to be put out to like pasture. It's the people that are running it. I do beg your pardon, but it's the people that are running it. Much like the governments in Northern Europe, like Finland and Sweden. What they need to do is they actually need to like turn around and they need to get fucking stuck into actually what it is that they care about.
Okay, well look, ladies and gents, we'll go into this a lot deeper next week. We've had a superb run today. I'm going to love putting this online.
Fucking not.
Please leave your comments below.
Fucking Chris is Mr. K. Hopkins is sat there with a face like.
But this is
wheelchair
disorderly conduct at the Lazy Fox. Gentlemen, please say goodbye to the listeners.
There's this.
Fuck you, Chris Grimes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back next week.
She was.